Hi friends, Stark here, and for quite a while I've wondered about how I could tie in the power of nostalgia when discussing Melee's hold on long-standing viewers and a player base over the last 2 decades. Because the game has changed so much. Smash as a whole has changed so much. And as we've trudged to the modern era of Melee, with Nintendo and various bad actors threatening the growth of the game with lawsuits or controversy, and with the growing sense of age and change giving some players a looming sense of death for the esport, Melee has somehow still persevered. Household names like Armada and Leffen have retired or taken large hiatus. Active gods are struggling now more than ever to maintain their reign as the best, and even the voices behind our game, the commentators, are beginning to cycle into the fresh faces ready to carry home the most important storylines of our time. And for what it's worth, I personally believe Melee is in a sweet spot. There's current activity from iconic legends in the scene, as well as new content creators, top players, and tournament organizers to help carry the flames of this sport for years to come. But I've heard friends say, tournaments just aren't the same as they used to be. And that statement has so many implications. It solidifies new lore and legends, and the winners claim a piece of modern Melee history. There's a new audience, and virality of clips push beyond, with huge upsets and combos reaching audiences we'd never dream of outside of the inclusion in a GR Smash video. And as I see the recurring trends of top 8s, showing names like Zain, Cody Schwab, Aklo, Moki, and Spark hovering somewhere in the 7th to 9th placings, I'm reminded of a time that seems like forever ago, where our top 8 brackets would be a stronghold. Names like SFAT, Axe, Plup, and Mewtwo King, and our rotating top 3 of any of the gods who would occupy every tournament Sunday like clockwork. Sure, the repetition might seem boring, but the stories of trying to finally break through the guarded fortress of the top 8 was a story in itself. And part of what made Melee so enchanting in these pivotal late 2010s for me was the story of players who got so close to immersing themselves as one of the best. And in October of 2024, at the most recent Melee major Wavelength in Massachusetts, we would see the return of a name so prominent in our history as a top threat, who was always just short of being considered one of the very best. Yet, this player had an array of top highlights that will always have them remembered as an iconic presence in our scene, and at this tournament Wavelength, this player would remind us that even if the era is different, his ability to clutch against some of the very best in the world would be more than just luck. Let's look at the return of the second half of the 4-leaf mango, Lucky. Jose, Joey, J-Bone, the Batman Lucky Aldama is a longtime Fox main and best friend to Mango, who both started competing as far back as 2007. As a static partner to Mango in doubles and calling themselves the 4-leaf mango, the two were static training partners and just good friends who would experience the dedication to becoming the best in a grassroots esport together side by side. A veteran face in competitive Melee, Joey would be equally known for his Fox as his infectious smile, and has found himself on both sides of the historic clip spectrum, hitting clips on other players and also being clipped on.
Yeah, this is gonna be. Holy shit! That was incredible, dude. Someone give me that, dude.
Yeah, great.
Oh,
Nice.
nice edge guard.
That's really good.
All right.
He
No,
gets
this
him
is-
in the first couple frames where there's no fire. It's like the Armada shine, but you do it instantly instead of later. Oh man.
Oh, this could be it.
Oh wow.
Oh my. Oh my God!
Oh my god! And the camera.
Oh my God!
The camera.
I also feel like beside the roller coaster rise of Mango, there would always be a good luck charm by his side, growing and facing his own challenges beside him.
What's up, dog? Waxing everybody. Waxing everybody. Ain't nobody got no facial hair. IBDW, no facial hair. AMSA, no facial hair. Waxed.
They got no pubes either.
No pubes, no butt cheek hair. Waxed. Waxed.
Indeed, for some of Melee's most hype moments, it would seem that there was always a Lucky present. If we go back in history, one of Lucky's most memorable tournament runs is a trip down memory lane. And at one of the biggest Melee tournaments all the way back in 2014, that's now 10 years ago by the way, we would see one of the very best Lucky tournament runs the community had ever witnessed. After an early entrance into loser's bracket to Peach Legend Kalamazoo, Lucky would follow up into a lethal 5th place run, in which case he would beat incredible players such as Gatsu, Daryl, Cobal, and HBox, all sent packing before top 8.
Like a back throw. That could have been the up throw up air.
Okay. Every time I go out, you know I gotta show out.
Yo, 58% to 0, but one grab. One grab changes everything.
Sense don't matter, baby.
No. Joey, he's and Hungry.
Is that it?
Yo! Oh my God!
The pop off.
Lucky does
Lucky
it.
never pops off.
Lucky's in top 8.
Top 8, baby.
And the cheers!
Hey,
Man, I told you! The cheers coming from the crowd! No one could cheer because of how tense that set was.
Dang.
After reaching top 8, he would duke it out with his lifelong pal Mango, and would be taken on to a brink of Game 5, clutch, tense endings, before Mango would come out on top and ending his run at 5th place.
Oh, and the forward smash!
That does it!
The simple and clean finish!
Oh my
What a
God.
set.
I did not think that was going to happen.
What a show that these two have put on!
Wow.
Congratulations to Lucky. Lucky! Oh, I want to get in on this! Lucky!
Overall, Lucky would come out in his career with wins on Mango, HBox, PPMD, Axe, Wizrobe, S2J, Nun, Mewtwo King, and more. Lucky is someone who cannot be slept on. Don't underestimate the Batman, or it'll be the loser's bracket you'll face. Hailing from SoCal, he's consistently been seen as one of the very best in arguably the toughest region to play Melee in the world. Lucky and his Fox would be a technical demon, moving fast and hitting hard in a way that so few could. And from 2013 onwards, Lucky would demonstrate a stellar track sheet, placing top 30 in every single ranking season he was active for until 2023, 10 years later, where he would place 63rd in a year of semi-inactivity in one of the toughest competitive climates we've ever seen. Fun fact, although he would drop over 40 ranks from his previously ranked year in 2019 to 68 in 2023, his 2024 summer would see him rise back into the top 30 once more, surrounded by not one, but 2 Donkey Kongs. Oh, how the Melee landscape has changed.
Wait a minute, that's it.
That's it. And Lucky takes it over Mewtwo, making it into top 8.
Pops off, throws his headphones, hugs Alex.
Yo,
Still has not shaken me to King's hand. But I respect it, man. My man.
Lucky is one of those names that people would constantly predict at placing 17th, 9th, and if we were lucky, 7th at any given major tournament over the years. He might take a set off HBox here and there and might snag a couple games off the top 5, but ultimately every bracket path would feel unlucky as he faced people who would win out over him. When you pair this level of consistency with a Melee landscape that gets more difficult at every passing major to place top 8 in, it can be a recipe for struggle and stress. And as these players, these veterans of the game, continue to play on after a decade plus, we begin to think, are we at a time that is too far removed from their heyday, that these Melee players may never reach their peaks again? Lucky's a great case study, and would answer this question himself at Wavelength. With quite a strong field, this tournament was incredible at a statistical level. There was very top level presence from Zain, Jmook, HBox, Mango, Nun, Moki, and Aklo, alongside an incredible depth of top 100 talent ranging from Canadian legends like Goosecon and Faust to character specialists like Codeman the Pichu, who took a game off Nun at this tournament, and Glock My Toyota, who placed 49th as a premier Game & Watch main. It would seem there was a little something for everyone at Wavelength. Fast forward to round 2 pools. Best of 5 is already active, and Lucky, wanting to make a historic run, would run into Dawson, one of the best current Jigglypuffs, and as every great run would have it, he would lose Game 5 to Dawson, and face an early entry into losers. And on top of Dawson's skill, Lucky could have been dealing with controller issues, sleep issues, anxiety, sickness, any number of things. After this loss, he would be faced with 2 choices. Does he pack it in, get the salty tweet ready, and take a 33rd with grace? Or does he lock in and luck in? I want you to guess what one J-Bone would choose. In losers, Lucky would go on to beat top 50 Marth Calvar Game 5. He would also beat upcoming fast-moving Fox Project and fellow long-standing veteran but recently active again GOAT Nun 3-1 just to make top 16 of this bracket. And if he had lost here, it would still be an incredible run from Lucky. But Joey had other plans for Wavelength. Day 2 of Wavelength 2024 would see the crowning of the champ as we progress from top 16 onwards. And Lucky would need to win 2 high-level sets just to even qualify for top 8. First up was Canadian Puff Faust. Faust was ranked number 38 in the world in the most recent rankings and is one of Canada's best. He's taken names from top 10 players like Jmook and equally strong wins over other top character specialists like Magi and Milkman. Faust has been having a great year of Melee in his own right, placing top 32 at every major tournament he traveled to, and nailing great wins locally as he competes against several top Canadian threats. This would be a bit of revenge, as Lucky would seek to avenge his day 1 matchup Demon Dawson, and would be successful as he manages to crawl back and clutch a Game 5 win over Faust to start the day. This would mean he has one more set to make top 8, and the player he would have to beat is Jmook. One of the toughest possible matchups for Joey to run into, Jmook has never even lost a game to Lucky yet, with a 3-0 set count and 9-0 game count over the SoCal Fox. This is going to be his toughest challenge yet, and if you haven't seen the tournament, the set would have a result that none of you could guess. That's right, Jmook was DQ'd, and Lucky got a free pass into top 8. This kind of shocked me, as any DQs would be. All I could seemingly find online was a post from Jmook's team FlyQuest that would suggest he slept in, but regardless if that was the real reason or if there are private things that happened, I hope the best for Jmook, and this would mean after a heartfelt and hard-fought set over Faust and a sleepy Jmook, we would bring an old name into a new era of top 8s. Lucky is back, and Lucky is here to win. It was at this point that we began to realize that Lucky is more than just a full-time streamer on the Mango Twitch channel, but that he could still emerge victorious in an era long after his Big House 4 run or even his Genesis 5 run where he cracked top 8 over Mewtwo King.
That's it! That's it! And Lucky takes it over Mewtwo King, making it into top 8.
So let's head into losers 7th. He would be facing Joshman, and Joshman would be his highest ranked challenger yet. Number 11 in summer 2024, Joshman has not slowed down his race to the top, and as far as foxes go, he is one of the most proficient and smooth moving space animals to ever pick up the controller. There's a reason why his Twitter was called Lil Trickshot. This set was going to be a bloodbath. The set would open up with a blazer from Joshman, sending Lucky back to 2014 with a devastating 3-stock. From here, I think a lot of fans were worried that this would be another 7th in Lucky's resume. Formerly named Sora, Joshman holds the title as one of the best foxes in Melee, and having one of the best beards in esports. And he might be from Australia, but Joshman still found himself struggling to emerge from down under the pressure of the set, as he would fail to close out Game 2, choking a nearly 3-stock lead over Lucky and leaving the set tied at 1-1. Game 3, history would be repeating at a miraculous rate, as another big lead from Joshman, a promising 3-stock, turned into a 2-stock for Lucky on FD. The nerves were high, and misinputs or pressure being applied would definitely be taking its toll on both players. Joshman and Lucky would duke it out in Game 4, but the momentum would return into Joshman's favor as he wins on Stadium, and it would all come down to Yoshi's story. The size of the stage would lend itself to quick punishes and earlier kills, but the difference in space to move could be a huge difference maker for the winner and loser of this set. With all eyes on Lucky, it would seem like the stress to win would be too much, as he finds himself down 3 stocks on what feels like the 10th time in a Game 5 set. But instead of crumbling to the weight of the Australian animal himself, Lucky would maintain a strong defensive profile, keeping techs mixed and varied, staying near center or ledge when most beneficial, capitalizing on his huge punishes like his lethal Armada shines in the set. And suddenly, Game 5, it would be tied 1 stock to 1 stock. And this is how it would end.
Go shot that. This is in the back row again. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, that's it, Lucky popping off. Lucky makes a massive comeback, a 3-stock comeback.
Lucky wins 3-2 over Joshman. Lucky's reward for beating Joshman would be a bittersweet return to one of the most sentimental rivalries in Melee. A battle between 2 best friends, Lucky and Mango. As if Mango wasn't already the best Falco in the world against Fox, and as if Mango didn't have a hugely positive record on Lucky, and as if Mango didn't spend most of his career in the spotlight as a flourishing player, while Lucky was there by his side and at some points in his shadow, but they were best friends, forced to eliminate each other and end one of their stories early. For Mango, a 5th place on his path to number 1 for the year would be a tough look. And for Lucky, this could be an end to a fantastic return to form. In some ways, this set would have no loser, as either one of them are going to get to see their friend win. And in some ways, this set would have no winner, because for many viewers, me included, we would want both players to continue on. However, Lucky would surprise the venue, the commentators, and the viewers watching with something I think very few would expect. Lucky would 3-0 Mango?
Man. What is happening?
In a
what is
dominant
happening?
display, that was vicious. The punishes, everything was there, and Lucky gets a massive win to keep his 2024 phenomenal.
Listen to the hype and the shock from the commentators. I think if anyone is capable of beating Mango like that, in that fashion, who better than the player and person who knows him most in the Smash community? This was a bittersweet victory. A huge mark on the year for Lucky, but also a huge blemish from Mango. And a tweet following up after the tournament completed would suggest that this year's momentum to number 1 has come to a somewhat pause. Lucky single-handedly ending Mango's desire to compete anymore this year outside of special events and invitationals. So Lucky would put the wooden stake in Mango, looking to come to life as number 1 for one final time. And it was at this moment that Lucky would begin to seriously emerge as a possible winner of this tournament. After all, only 3 other players remained in bracket: HBox, Zain, and Aklo. Lucky would go up to face Aklo next. Aklo's a top 15 player with a shockingly strong resume with both his Fox and his Link. He's one of the best Foxes in the world, and especially in the Fox Ditto. He's got wins or Game 5s against every single top box, and beat other top boxes like Moki, who might also have a claim at being the best at the Fox Ditto at this very same tournament. This would be a clash between the old age Fox and the new age Foxes, and this one would go down to the wire. Game 1 would begin with a back and forth, Aklo winning a tense last stock game with openings in neutral, leaving the victory up to both players to determine. Game 2, Lucky would find himself down 2 stocks, but instead of giving up, he would continue to clutch like he did many times this tournament, and outpressure the New York Fox and take game 2 without even taking more than a hit on his last stock. Lucky would find himself down again on his last stock in game 3, yet this show would be repeated once again. That even when you're down in stocks, sometimes you just need to get lucky. So Lucky would take game 3 over Aklo. But you don't call Aklo one of the best foxes in the world for nothing. With a 2 stock on game 4, we would be heading into yet another game 5 situation. And now for game 5. You can tell the nerves begin to kick in here. Both players are balancing the stress of trying not to lose their own stocks, while trying to push their offense as far as they can, take advantage of every punish opening on even the smallest mistakes. With 2 stocks apiece, Lucky would actually be up a sizable amount of percent for what feels like the first time in a lot of sets. But Aklo would still manage to take Lucky's stock first with a devastating string of Fox pressure and put Lucky on his last stock. The end of the game wouldn't be here just yet, as it would come down to a little bit of luck, a little bit of skill, and a lot of Lucky. The crowd would chant his name.
Knockdown, jab reset, doesn't get the buffered roll in though.
Oh, that's the knockdown he was looking for.
Fishing it for up air.
Gets the power shield, but no punish on it. Oh my god. You see how quick that up air was off the edge cancel?
Oh,
Great shorten.
Tournament winner. It could be just that, and
that'll
it is.
do it. Aklo with a crazy last stock to take it 3-2.
Damn, dude.
What a set.
Aklo would eliminate Lucky, but wow, what a crazy run this would be. He would meet his end at 4th place, neck and neck in the Fox Dittovers as one of the very best in Melee right now, and it would all go down to a tournament winner. Fitting, as Aklo would go on to win his next set and only lose to the tournament's winner, Zain. This would be a monumental moment, not only for the crowd celebrating what Lucky has achieved, but also Lucky himself would respond over Twitter saying this. And after watching this tournament, I began to look through some of Lucky's interviews over the years to capture how much he's grown as a person in his perspective inside and outside of Melee. And I'm so thankful that the Melee scene has been lucky enough to have the Batman grace our scene with his passion and talent. I was looking through his old interviews, and they would seemingly foreshadow some of the major feelings and accomplishments that he'd put forward at Wavelength, including beating Mango and None, just like at main stage. It's always been a growth mentality and about focusing on what you can change. When asked about how Lucky feels about eliminating Mango at main stage, this was 4 years prior, Lucky would say, "As far as Mango goes, I know a lot of people are happy about his win. I have this pride where because I'm a Fox player, I know what it's like to play bad and what it's like to miss crucial things. So when I beat Mango or anyone in tournament, that's always in the back of my head. Overall, I just can't wait to play him again, because now it might show him that even if he's not playing his best, I can push him a lot harder than I've ever been able to, due to how much I've been grinding this year. I'm excited to play him when he's in better form, and hopefully beat him the next time too. Well, Lucky, if you were to talk to your 2019 self, I think he would be very happy to hear that you absolutely can beat him when he's in better form." There was one tournament and one interview I was excited to read about Lucky's discussions on the past, present, and future of his Melee career. However, the site has actually been turned into a gambling website, so very interesting developments on that front. But the implications of this run for Melee raised the stocks of nostalgia to new heights. I think the perfect development of Melee history is a gradual give and take, as new players and content arrives, while the long-standing figureheads contribute sparingly in whichever way they can, whether it's commentary, good runs, streaming, hosting events, or whatever else. This is a balance between the reasons many of us started and also how we continue to enjoy this game moving forward. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Melee has of course been endlessly interesting to think about and talk about, and as the Rivals of Aether 2 takes some big momentum out of top level Melee, what Wavelength 2024 leaves a wonderful glimpse at what the next year of Melee has in store. As usual, thank you to all the creators, players, tournaments that helped make this video possible. I will try to link everything in the description. And thank you to everyone who has been so supportive and who have enjoyed my content. I'm happy to make more. I've really been enjoying it, and there's so much more Melee to talk about, and as I'm sure you can tell, I love it. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.